Hey everybody, we're going to do something a little bit different today.
Yes, we are.
We're going to head over to the Polynesian. I've got to pick up something for a friend of a friend, I guess is the easiest way. We're going to see what kind of cupcakes they might have, or a cupcake. The resorts are kind of slim on cupcake pickings these days.
But we'll find one anyway.
We will. And then the real interesting part comes. We're going to walk over to the Grand Floridian. Done that before, at least I have. And then we're going to take the brand new walkway between the Grand Floridian and the Magic Kingdom.
Should be fun. Want to join us? The inside of the Polynesian Resort doesn't have a whole lot of Christmas decorations up. They do have a very pretty Christmas tree up. And some wreaths. And a decorated tiki. However, there are a few things you ought to know about the Polynesian right now. They are going under refurbishment. The front entrance is closed, so you have to go around to the side. And the monorail station is not operating, so the monorail does not stop at the Polynesian. Another note, here at the Polynesian, Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, one of our favorite watering holes, is closed. Now we're going to leave the Grand Ceremonial House at the Polynesian and head on over to the Grand Floridian, and then on to the walkway from the Grand Floridian all the way to the Magic Kingdom.
Not only is the Great Ceremonial House under construction, Tuvalu and Fiji longhouses are also being renovated. Kind of a bummer, because Tuvalu is supposed to be one of the best spots for watching for seeing the Magic Kingdom. Unless you want to play DVC prices anyway.
And due to the pandemic, the Spirit of Aloha dinner show is not running at this time. The beach with its fence to keep you from going into the Seven Seas Lagoon is still open, so you can still use the swing. We've made it over to the Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian, and you know what that means? Now it's time for Cupcakes of Disney!
Here at the Grand Floridian, the seasonal cupcake is a red velvet wreath cupcake. I believe that's supposed to be the classic cream cheese frosting. We will find out. Okay. I like these so much better than those cardboard ones. Okay, this will not cut well. That is chocolate. I can tell it's been in the cooler, which is kind of the way Disney does these. All right, now I think this is just a plain cupcake. I don't think it is filled. Ooh, because it's chilled, I am squishing the cupcake. This is actually not working very well. Oh, it is filled. Look at that. I didn't want to do it this way, but I can't cut the cupcake with the cold frosting on top. And because it's cold, the frosting wants to come out of the middle. First world problem, huh? So that's not as pretty as I wish it were.
It started out very pretty.
Cold cupcakes simply do not slice well. When the cupcake is moist and fresh, which is preferable.
I much prefer moist and fresh. We've tried the other way and it wasn't very good. Dry and stale is not my favorite.
Okay. That is just the classic plain vanilla buttercream. The middle is the cream cheese frosting, and it's not super sweet. You can taste the tartness of the cream cheese. I think this is gonna be good. Oh, the cupcake is beautifully moist and tender. It's just red velvet, but it's good. I'm one of those weird people. Red velvet's fine, but I wish they'd add more cocoa and leave out the red food coloring. I know it's prettier this way, but I'm a sucker for a really deep, dark chocolate fudgy cupcake. And red velvet just isn't. Everybody talks about how rich it is. Not in my book. But then again, I used to frequent a little Swiss patisserie. Talk about dark chocolate. Cream cheese frosting goes really well with that. For something simple, I'm enjoying this a lot.
Well, I'm going to try it now. I'm with Elizabeth. I don't usually like red velvet all that much. I wish it was more chocolate and less red food coloring. But we'll see. It's nice and moist. I like that. The texture is very nice. It doesn't have a whole lot of flavor to it, I didn't think. There is some chocolate in there. So let's try some of this filling. That is definitely cream cheese frosting, which is sort of traditional, and that's delicious. I like that. Let's see what this is over here. This is a frosting that was on top. It looked like they might be marshmallows, but they're not. That's a very nice buttercream, not over sweet, just about right. Let's try the green, see if it's any different. No, it's still buttercream. It's just green, but the little sprinkles on top had a nice little fun crunch to it when you bite down on it. I like that. So, I'm gonna keep eating. This is pretty good.
That was a pretty good cupcake. Relatively simple, but sometimes simple works. Red velvet, not my favorite, but I don't hate it. Matter of fact, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I just wish it was more chocolate. I want deep fudge chocolate, not red sort of chocolate, but that's okay. It was good. Red velvet cake really should always be pretty moist. The red food coloring always seems to add something to it, even though it's not that much compared to the batter. But anyway, it was a very moist, tender cupcake, obviously fresh. The cream cheese middle was delicious. It was exactly what it should have been. Still a little tangy, and it actually needed just a tiny bit of the buttercream for me. So I took a little bit of buttercream and then had the cupcake and the sweetened cream cheese middle. Presentation, it was cute. It wasn't amazing. It's just piped frosting on top of a red velvet cupcake. So 7. Taste, if you love red velvet, it'd probably be a higher score that I'm going to give it. But I'm going to give it a 7 as well. Perfectly fine red velvet cupcake. And if I were here having supper or lunch and I wanted dessert, I might buy it again.
Elizabeth said pretty much everything that I was going to say. The cake should be moist. It is. The texture is just wonderful. It's nice. It's moist. The crumb is wonderful. And for once, they didn't skimp on the filling. That cream cheese frosting in the middle is just wonderful. I like the little tart in it. It tastes very nice. Buttercream on top. Tastes like buttercream. It's nothing special. The little red bow that was on top of it is made out of, well, it's white chocolate, but they dyed it red. But it's Disney white chocolate, and I've said this before, Disney white chocolate isn't the best thing in the whole world. It's not awful, it's just almost non-existent in flavor. So, it's a decoration. I like the little sprinkles, or maybe perhaps nonpareils on top. They had a little crunch when you ate the frosting, which was kind of nice. So, on presentation, Well, it's our first Christmas cupcake of the season, so I'm a little partial to it. It really wasn't wildly creative, but it was pretty. I'd give it a 7, just like Elizabeth. For flavor, well, like Elizabeth, I am not the biggest red velvet fan in the world. I don't dislike it. I wish it was a little more chocolatey, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'd give it a 7 also. And like Elizabeth said, if I was here at the Gasparilla Island Grill and having a meal, I would definitely get this cupcake again. It would make a lovely finish to it. So, would I get it again? Sort of depends on what I'm doing. Would I walk all the way over here just to get the cupcake? No, I don't think so. But there's nothing wrong with this cupcake, and if you're over here, try it.
We're here at M. Mouse Mercantile at the Grand Floridian. They've got some really fun holiday stuff this year. This hoodie is particularly nice. Very simple on the front. Candy cane stripe hood. And 'tis the season to be jolly. Like every other hoodie, pretty much. $64.99.
The Grand Floridian has a lot more festive holiday decorations than the Polynesian did. There are garlands, wreaths, poinsettias, and a huge Christmas tree with lovely decorations. Sadly though, this year they didn't put up the giant gingerbread house, and the Grand Floridian Society Orchestra isn't there. The highlight for us though was that the piano player is back, and boy is he good. Elizabeth requested that he play As Long as There's a Christmas from Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. He didn't know the song, so he looked it up on his tablet and sight read it perfectly. We had a little trouble finding it, but I think we finally found the path from the Grand Floridian all the way to the Magic Kingdom. You just follow the monorail track. The first thing you discover is this beautiful little white bridge. The next thing you come to is this bridge, which can swing open to let the barges out for the electrical water pageant. The view from the walkway onto the Seven Seas Lagoon is just lovely. And of course, you end up in the most magical place on earth, the Magic Kingdom. Well, we're back home.
We had a good time. It's tiring. It's a lot of walking, but fun.
She got her steps in.
I got my steps in. I didn't double goal. Sometimes when I'm at the parks, especially Universal, I will actually hit goal twice.
But not today, but she came close.
I did well. The walk was beautiful. The resorts are gorgeous, and the Grand Floridian had a piano player back. Oh,
yes, he did.
Thank you. Wes was amazing.
Wes was really good.
Kept asking me for requests. I couldn't really think of anything. He saw my shirt. I made a Mele Kalikimaka shirt and first played Mele Kalikimaka, which was fun. Not really Grand Floridian. And then I remembered in Belle's Enchanted Christmas. And he did not know So Long as There's a Christmas. But he looked it up and he played it beautifully. And he said that's now going to be in his regular repertoire there at the Grand Floridian, which makes sense since there's a lounge upstairs, the Enchanted Rose. So I was very pleased to hear the song and also pleased to kind of teach him something.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the notification button. We've got more coming up. Hit that like button. That's the thumbs up button.
Please comment. Let us know what you think. Have any questions for us? We love that. We really do like to hear from you. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We could use more subscribers, always.
If you're on social media, so are we.
Our Life on the Go has a Facebook page. It's kind of slow because not very many people are on there, but if you start getting on there more, I will too. And then I'm also on Instagram, Our Life Go. Try to get a photo up there, at least one photo a day. Sometimes I miss, but for the most part, you get at least one photo a day, and sometimes little short videos like today is on there.
So, With that said, I'm Art,
I'm Elizabeth.
and this is Our Life on the Go.